Hi, it's Jean with Kept in Stitches, and it is my week in review where I share with you everything that I have been doing the past week in the Stitching Cottage. So welcome, come on in and join me. Let's see what stitching has been taking place and the progress that I have made. First of all, I have completed the top for the round robin challenge quilt, which is heart and hand day complete, which I'm trying to get my hands wide enough so you can see. They're not quite wide enough, but that brown that is on the top is the borders all the way around the sides also. So it is now complete. Started off with that little block with the heart in hand and the courthouse steps block in the middle. And then each week a round was added that you, the viewers, voted on what to do next. And you can see there are 4 embroidery blocks included as cornerstones on each corner of the quilt. So that is now complete, ready to be quilted, bound, and labeled. And I do believe I'm thinking that I'm going to do that on my domestic machine. Haven't made the final decision on that, but that is the plan for right now. And then I also, and I'm not going to take it all out, it's all in its little container here, but these are all the fabrics that are cut up and ready to put together a 4-patch quilt for kids for charity. And that will be coming up on a video, I believe live in a couple weeks. We'll be working on that, so stay tuned for that. But everything is cut up, ready to go for that, and it will be a charity quilt. In fact, I think I have enough fabric there that I may be able to do 2 quilts. Might have to use some different contrasting fabrics with it, but I should have enough to do 2 quilts using those fabrics. And then also I have all of my strips completed. Let me get there. That are for the piano key border for the Jellied Charm quilt. So that is ready for our February step of the quarterly quilt along. Those are all prepared, ready to go. Feels so good to be getting caught up on the many projects that I have going all at once here in the Stitching Cottage. And then I also started just this week working on another quilt that is going to be for charity, and it is totally out of my scraps. I have a very large scrap collection of leftover 2.5-inch strips. It's part of the cut that I cut when I'm making other quilts and store. So I have been working on this. Oops, my arms aren't wide enough for it either, but we have 1 row complete on this planned scrappy potato chip block in the basket weave layout. That will also be a charity quilt, and there we'll fold that so you get an idea better of what that looks like. And I am, by planned scrappy, I mean that I've pulled out my browns, beiges, and creams fabrics to use as the potato chip rectangles in that quilt. And I did work a little bit on that in one of the lives, I do believe. You can check that out and see how that is done, but I may be doing that as a demonstration coming up also in the future. And then the other, and these are some of the other fabrics that go with that I need a little extra on the lights, so I had to had to pull some that I'm going to have to cut up into strips and into the chips for that as well. And then the other that I have been working on is another quilt for charity, and it is a pinwheel quilt that is made out of a charm pack, and these are some of the blocks that came from that charm pack quilt. It uses one charm pack in a colorway, and then you coordinate a solid with it that is also a charm pack, or the equivalent in 5-inch squares of your coordinating fabric. But I have all of the blocks stitched together and made into the half square triangles, which they are carefully all stacked up here, the ones that I haven't sewn into the blocks yet, ready to piece into the pinwheel blocks. And then this will be the border that goes with all those fabrics. Going to be a really nice, colorful, cheerful quilt. Adding that, I decided to add this for the border because there are a lot of lights that were included in that charm pack, so it needed a little boost of color. And I'm going to set that aside, and I have another previously made quilt for charity that is made the same way. Oops, have a pin in that. So you get an idea of what that looks like when it is done. And that one is made out of, again, one charm pack and then the white creamy background. And I can't see if I'm holding it up far enough there for you to see the bottom of that. I think so. But that is one that will be a charity quilt, lap quilt for a veteran. And it is in the process of being quilted. So I believe that is everything that I have worked on this past week in the Stitching Cottage. Of course, there's always lots of other things going on, but those are the projects that I was able to work on the most and get quite a bit completed on those. The other thing, of course, is we have mail call. I don't always have mail because I'm trying not to purchase things this year, but every once in a while there are a few things that we need. You may have noticed that I've been doing a lot of charity quilts. That's because February is my month that I dedicate to charity quilting. And I am running low on some of the solids to go along with a lot of charm packs that I have. So I did order 3, and this one is just packaged a little bit differently, but 3 charm packs of solid colors that I would have to go with some of the other charm packs that I have in making charity quilts this month. So we've received those in the mail. I actually got those off of Amazon. And then I have a subscription with Fat Quarter Shop that is for the quarterly K Facet collection of 20 fat quarters. And these are the fat quarters that arrived just the other day for that subscription. Like I said, that is a quarterly subscription that I receive. And then thinking ahead, we always have to be ahead of the game. Last year, some of you may recall that I do also a Veterans Quilt Challenge every year where I share a pattern and challenge those of you that would like to join in to quilt along and do that quilt with me to donate to a veteran. And it's, if you don't like the quilt, it's kind of okay. Go ahead, make one for yourself if you like, but also make one to donate to a veteran. And that is how that works. So I'm planning for 2024 and having that challenge again, which I believe will be in the month of July. I did see a quilt that I really loved. This time the pattern will not be a free pattern. It will be one that you need to purchase and download and print off, but it is very reasonable, and the link for that will be in the description box below. But it is this pattern, God and Country, from Easy Peasy Quilts. And I did get the quilt kit that goes with that, which is also available. However, it can be made out of quilts from your fabrics from your stash. You do not have to purchase the kit, but I did go ahead and purchase the kit for that. And I will probably be making more than one. So I have the pattern, the idea of how they use the fabrics to then go from my massive stash right over there of all my patriotic prints and pull and make one or two others. So that is what I received in the mail this week. And then I just want to remind you and bring up, while we are talking about things coming up and the charity quilts, that I will be having my first annual Quilt for Charity Marathon, Captain Stitch's Heartfully Given, and it will be live on my YouTube channel via Zoom on Sunday, February 25th, 2024, from 1 p.m. to 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So come and join me then. The reason that I am doing it on Zoom live is so that if you would like, you can come up and be on the panel stitching, working on your charity quilts. At the same time, we can see how many we can have up on the panel, all of us working together during those hours, making quilts for charity. And if you don't want to come up on the Zoom and be a part of the panel, that is quite all right, no problem. You can decide to follow along, chat with us in the chat, and be working on your charity quilts at the comfort of your home in your sewing room right along with us. But trying to get as many as I can to share in on that day, making quilts for charity. And we will see how many quilts are made that day that we come and have available to give to our local charities. If you do not have a way to donate in your local area, you can contact me, and if you want to send those to me, I will put those with those that I distribute to the charities that I give to in my local area. And if you do want to be part of the Zoom that day, there will be more information coming on this and available in other areas, but you will register by emailing me, and my email will be in the link of the description box below. And then you will also need to request to join my charity Facebook group, which is Threads of Captain Stitch's Heartfully Given, and the link for that will also be in the description box below. So you can join, the active panel. You can quilt at home however you want, and you can pop in and out. You don't have to be there at the entire time. However, it is a marathon. The object is to get as much done as we can in those hours. And there will be details also for those of you that may not quilt or aren't able to quilt for charity but would like to support that cause in some way. There will be details in both of my groups and on my page, and during the live there will be details on how you can help with donations for that at that time. So that is the information that I have on that coming up, and all the information and details will be found in both of my Facebook groups, the one that is Captain Stitches and Friends, and then Threads of Captain Stitch's Heartfully Given. So you can join either one of those groups. It helps to be a member of both groups because different things go on in both of those, and those links are always in the description box below as well. So thank you everyone for joining me and welcoming me into your stitching room, your home, as I share with you what I have done in my stitching cottage this past week. I hope that I have inspired you in some way to work on your projects and get as much as you can completed and just enjoy the love of quilting, stitching, crocheting, all types of stitching. So have a great weekend. Those of you watching the Super Bowl, may the team you're rooting for win. And remember, in the meantime, I can keep you in stitches. Bye-bye, everyone.